What's up, guys, man? I wanted to talk about Cuban fighters, in particular Luis Ortiz and Guillermo Rigondeaux, who are both aging, but I think they're some of the most talented, skilled fighters in the world at the moment, yeah? So first of all, let's get into Luis Ortiz, yeah? He's fractured his thumb, yeah, his thumb. So he's not going to be fighting Derek Rossi, whom I've never heard of, in his next fight on April the 22nd. He's not going to be fighting him. But, you know, I would have loved to see this fight, not because I know who Derek Rossi is, and not because I thought that Derek Rossi is going to give Ortiz a good fight, but instead because I want to see how Luis Ortiz is doing. He did not look impressive in his last two fights. He fought David Allen, who's got a monster chin, by the way, all respect to David Allen. And he did not look impressive with him. He couldn't take him out. And Malik Scott was a running man in the ring, yeah. I thought Malik Scott was going to bring a good fight to the fight. But he was just running around the ring. That is running. That's not... Floyd Mayweather is not running. Cuban fighters are not running, as a lot of you are saying that Cuban fighters like running. Malik Scott on that day was running, bro. And, you know, it didn't look impressive either on Luis Ortiz's behalf that he couldn't knock him out. You know, but Malik Scott, he didn't make it hard for him, not because he was giving Ortiz a fight, but because he was giving him a little marathon to get on with. But, you know, I'm just thinking, you know, Luis Ortiz wants to wait for the winner of Klitschko versus Joshua. Alright, first of all, that's hopeful for his career, yeah? You know, Luis Ortiz has been ducked throughout his career. You know, before he fought Malik Scott, he was taking out all these fighters. He was taking out people in good fashion, yeah. And you know, I was thinking, yeah, he's a world beater, man. He's world class. He's gonna beat all these heavyweights. And then Malik Scott and Dave Allen quickly changed my opinion, and that's why I would like to see him facing another, you know, D-level fighter before he faces someone elite like that. But you know, this is positive. You know, Anthony Joshua, yeah, like it or not, has he ducked anyone? No, he's not ducked anyone. Even with 18 fights, people complain that, you know, Anthony Joshua hasn't fought anyone. Yes, that's true, but he's still relatively inexperienced, and he's going to face a good challenge in Klitschko, who's not completely past it. He's still got it in him, I think. And you know, I don't think Joshua's going to duck Ortiz, and I don't think Klitschko would duck Ortiz either, because Ortiz is the shorter man. Ortiz is about 6'2", 6'3", and you know, Klitschko thrives under those kind of fighters. And but who knows? Maybe Klitschko will duck him, and will avoid Luis Ortiz. But Luis Ortiz, you know, he's made heavyweights think that there's not much to duck anymore because he looked so bad in his last fights. And then, yeah, so that's Luis Ortiz done. I wanted to get on to Guillermo Rigondeaux, right? Who's my favourite skilled fighter at the moment, yeah? I think he's the most skilled fighter on the planet. It's a shame that we can't see Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Vasyl Lomachenko because of the weight differences. But, you know, that would be an interesting fight as well. I would love to see that. But, you know, Guillermo Rigondeaux is another fighter whose career started so late, yeah, because he's from Cuba and he had to get a boat to Miami and whatnot. His career started so late, and, you know, he hasn't been able to show us what he's really got on the biggest stage of boxing. People have been ducking him since day one. Carl Frampton ducked him, yeah. Nonito Donaire didn't duck him, fought him, and he got dominated in the fight, despite the knockdown. And you know, it's tales like this here that are really disheartening. You hear about stories that Rigondeaux has been knocked out by journeymen in sparring, and 14-year-old boys in sparring said that's what Freddie Roach said. I don't know if that's complete true or if it's partially fabricated, or if Freddie Roach is being a bit salty, or if he didn't take his pills. But you know, there must be some basis to that, those rumours. And You know, I don't think Rigondeaux has got the best chin, and I think he is a fighter that relies on reflex quite a bit as well. So what happens when Rigondeaux's reflex goes away? I mean, Rigondeaux is what, 39 years old, 38 years old? He's approaching his 40s, yeah? And he's only had 16 fights. I'll repeat, he's only had 16 fights, and he has very little time to waste. And you know, he's fighting Moises Flores, which I think Flores is undefeated actually, and you know he would give Rigondeaux a good fight because Flores is technically sound and likes a bit of a war as well. But I think you know, if we see the Rigondeaux that we've seen before, Rigondeaux will dominate. But it's just sad how, you know, there's so much talent in Cuban amateur boxing, right? We've got Erislandi Savon, Ramirez, Yosebe Ramirez, all these like brilliant amateur boxers in Cuba, but none of them can turn pro, obviously because of the politics in Cuba. But you know, the ones who do turn pro, they turn pro very late, and because of the skill set that Cuban boxers have, they are being ducked like crazy, man. I mean, you know, there are a few that aren't being ducked like crazy. Sullivan Barrera is one, but you know, Sullivan Barrera didn't have the, you know, the amateur pedigree as you know, someone like Rigondeaux did, and he hasn't got the skill set as like Rigondeaux. But you know, it's just sad to see these Cuban fighters getting their careers wasted away. I'm looking at Sullivan Barrera though as very hopeful. I mean, I do like what I'm seeing from Sullivan Barrera. He was very, very inexperienced when he fought Andre Ward, and you know, he's quite technically sound as well. Also, I'm a big fan of Yuriorkis Gamboa. He's not that old. He's about what, 30. He's got plenty left in him. But it's Rigondeaux and Luis Ortiz who I'm concerned about, because first of all, people have been ducking him, and they're just gonna wait till, you know, they're over the hill and then they've not still got it in them. You know, maybe Luis Ortiz's over the hill period is at the moment. You know, he hasn't looked good in his previous fights. So maybe the heavyweights will suddenly start to fight Luis Ortiz because it looks like his skill set has waned a bit. But yeah, as I said, Rigondeaux, when his reflexes go, I'm afraid I think we're going to see Rigondeaux get knocked out a bit. And he said he's going to be fighting till he's an old age anyway. So I doubt Rigondeaux will make it undefeated, unless he ends his career in a few years. But yeah, you know, let me know what you think of this video. As I said, it's sad to see these Cuban fighters get their careers wasted away. Rigondeaux is my favourite fighter at the moment, skill-wise, even though he's not really fought many people. But yeah, let me know what you think of this video, and like, subscribe and share. Peace.